You all have come now to Bangalore, and yesterday you had gone to Mysore, which was ruled by Mahishasura. That's the reason you didn't get your food. It crossed you. It's better not to eat food in such places, isn't it? All right. So, it's a very beautiful place. Bangalore is. Climate is beautiful. And you'll find always these Rakshasas live in places like this. Like in Pune, you have no use. This Rajneesh was there. Here is this Mahishasura. They always try to find places which are cold because they have so much heat in their body. Now, as you know, there's one more Rakshasa here who has to be exposed. And this, today, through our puja, we should achieve. In the olden days, when the goddess had to fight the Rakshasas were not involved in human beings as such. They didn't become gurus or anything. And so now we find in Kali Yuga, they have gone into the brains of sadhakas, of their devotees. It's very difficult to remove them. And once they go into the brain of the sadhakas, then sadhakas become, of course, possessed. They suffer. They have all kinds of problems. Despite that, they stick on to that person because they are mesmerized, very much mesmerized. And this mesmerism makes them absolutely so strong-headed that even if they have to die, they won't give up their gurus. The main thing is that in this Kali Yuga, there are so many sadhakas. They are running helter-skelter. They are running all over, trying to find out some way of finding the truth. While when the market is on, you get people to sell it also. So that's how so many have come up and are trying these things, tricks on people all over. Most of them have gone in the Western countries because people have money. Thank God we are not so rich in India that they could not befool us, especially in America. And Americans took to these people as a fish takes to water. Very simple. I went there and told them and warned them, they wouldn't listen to me. They can't understand anything that you can get without money. But despite all that, so many of you have been able to come to Sahaja Yoga and get to the reality. It's your destiny. It's blessings to you of your previous lives that you could see it so clearly and come to Sahaja Yoga. And now you have grown so much. You have become so matured. You understand what others are doing is absolutely wrong. Also, somebody told me about this fellow boy John misbehaving with these homosexuals and all that and calling them Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, all nonsense. Then I discovered that this story is very prevalent in Kerala, where they say that Vishnu, when he became Mohini, he had a child from Shiva. They're absurd. And now Mufti is telling me, when I told you this story, you said this blasphemy, this is sin. Same way I feel. It's very dangerous also to play about with a person like Vishnu. It's a very dangerous state. Shiva ultimately is very dangerous, but it takes time with him. But as far as Vishnu is concerned, one has to be very careful. Misbehaving like this, I don't know what's going to happen to them. But they are so stupid. They are so stupid. One thing they should judge, that if this thing we are doing is good for them, is by God's blessings, then why should we get diseases? There is a regular 1 crore of people going to a nonsensical place where they have this Ayyappa business. And they wear black dresses for one month, and they have their beard and everything. They don't starve themselves. They go up miles together. They climb, do all kinds of things. That is a sort of a suffering for 1 month. And 11 months, they do everything. This kind of a nonsense. So now it has become like a craze, like jogging or something like that in Kerala. And this year there were 1 crore of people doing this stupid dances. I mean, even in India we have such stupid people. See that. But the number is not so much, I must say, as it is in America, percentage. In India, we are very conditioned by this ritualism, especially in the South. We have lots of ritualistic things. And we are impressed by people if you take out some watches, speed watches and things like that. To them, it's something really remarkable that how can you have Swiss-made watches? Very simple. They do not understand that none of the incarnations did these tricks. And that truth should be based on the tradition, on the Shastras. It cannot deviate. Whatever deviates is actually heretic and also is blasphemy. But as I told you the other day, that those people who talk of knowledge, like Sufis, who got their realization, real Sufis, they were called as heretics. They were thrown out of the religion. Also, the Christians, the early Christians who were Gnostics, were called as mad people, heretics. In the same way, those who are following stupid things and are following something that is very black and dark, negative, will definitely go against Sahaja Yoga. And will say that this is something heretic or it is something that is blasphemy. But as we understand now what it is, we have to bring forth new laws that those who are not Sahaja Yogis are actually, if they are practicing any religion, they are not doing the right thing. Slowly, as Vatican is getting exposed, and the Christian churches are getting exposed, even in India, so many such organizations are getting exposed, and people are understanding that this is very wrong. These ideas actually have come from incarnations. Like Adi Shankaracharya himself said, tatat kim, tatat kim, tatat kim. If you have not followed your guru, then tatat kim. So they said, now any guru can come from the jail, can be a smuggler, can be anything, characterless person. If you call him a guru, then he's a guru. Whatever we call somebody, say, we call somebody as a guru. And we stick on. This is my guru. What did the guru give to you? That nobody asks. We just feel happy, oh, very nice. It's like the worms clinging on to the lotus and say, oh, we have lotus. What about you? You are a worm still. What is the use of these lotuses. Whether that is lotus or a snake, God alone knows. So, a guru who doesn't talk of realization, who doesn't talk of Kundalini, who doesn't talk of ascent, who doesn't talk of second birth, cannot be a guru. Minimum of minimum. So, like we also believe in, say, Rama. I believe in Rama. So what? Are you obliging Rama or Rama is obliging you? I believe in Christ. So what? You believe in this, you believe in that. It's such an absurd idea. Still, I never understand when people say, I believe in this. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? You believe in Christ. You are leading a licentious life. You are doing all kinds. But I believe in Christ. I believe in God. Doing everything against divinity, and I believe. So a question comes, what do you mean by believing? It's like, I believe it is silver. So what? It is silver. What does it make to you to believe by that saying something you have done great? What is great in that? Now if you say, I believe in Shri Mataji. So what? All right, you believe in me because of certain experience. Still what? Mataji should be in your life. Should be in your expression, in your behavior, in your treatment to others, in understanding each other and loving each other. That is what impresses me. People say, all right, we'll come to Mataji, we'll just pray to her and go away. We'll not talk to her. Why? Because we believe in Mataji, finished. So now we have to understand that you believe in Sahaja Yoga. Of course, it is Shraddha, it is not a blind faith, I read. But still, belief has to penetrate into your being. This belief has to act, has to show results. It has to work out in every way. Somebody might say that we believe in Mataji and she does everything. She'll do bhakti for us. I should sit down and sing the song of Mataji or what? So what is going to come from your side? That is what we have to understand. And once that starts working, then these demons and these rakshasas will all vanish. No problem. So what am I doing for such? We should ask the question, what am I doing? Now, if you make this instrument, and then what if it is not doing anything? What's the use of making the instrument? Now you are the light. You have gotten light. But what's the use of a light which is hanging somewhere, which is not giving light to anyone? So when you are giving light to others in a very innocent manner, in a very reciprocal manner, not this way that we are giving light because we want to have an advantage over it, or we want to show off, or any all nonsensical things that are there. Then the derailment starts. People start saying, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But with full understanding that we are instruments in the hands of the divinity and we are just enjoying that divinity flowing through us and working out. We won't feel tired, we won't feel upset, we will not be in any way in trouble. But this has happened with you. We are so matured, but still we all have to decide that now we are going to India to get ourselves the whole joy of the tour. But for what? Not to keep to yourself, but to share it with others. This joy is for you to share it with others. Unless and until you learn that, your ego will come back again and again. And also you have seen the way people who have been even spreading Sahaja Yoga got into the mess of ego. So one has to be very careful. The more you are rising in your divinity, more you are maturing, you have to be very careful. See, on a tree, if you see, if there's a leaf, no insect will enter. If there's a flower, the insect will come and it will make it into a fruit. But when it is a fruit, then the insect will enter and eat it off. So when you are becoming a fruit, you have to be very careful that no insect should get into. On the contrary, now you have capacity to destroy all the insects. And that is what is, I would say, is the state where we should all come up to. So you are destroying insects on one side and satisfying people on the other side. Collectivity is, of course, no doubt, is the only way you can be cleansed. But the greater thing is to go out, all out, to find out where can I spread Sahaja? Where can I go? What is the nearest village I can go? Where will I work it out? All these things, the more you think, the better it is. And you start moving in that direction. Once you start moving in that direction, you will be surprised Sahaja Yoga will move ahead of you. You'll meet the people whom you want. You'll get all the necessary help that you want. Suddenly you'll find some people who will come down and say, now, what can we do for? Every type of help starts coming to you the way you expand yourself. It's like expanding your wings, like a bird does, and then you take off. But if you don't extend yourself, you keep Sahaja Yoga to yourself only. It doesn't. I know you love me very much, and you know I love you very much. But don't you think others should also share this love? Others should also have this. Now, when we start struggling, we also struggle with people who are very difficult, like my brother's son. No. Just don't go near my. Get away. My is the most difficult thing. You see, in my family, I don't touch them. Because once you go to my, they sit on your heads. Or maybe they'll sit on the heads of the Sahaja Yogis or something. Nothing. So don't go to the people, she's my sister, no, nothing of that. What you have to do is to see what is beyond. And the more you'll go beyond, the better it will be. See, you can see clearly, we worked so hard in Maharashtra. It is a useless place, I find. Maharashtrian Sahaja Yogis are few, very few. But whatever are there also not so good. While Delhi Sahaja Yogis, now here in Madras, in Bangalore, see what nice Sahaja Yogis are there. So much work I have done there. So those who are very near to you always cannot see the greatness of you. Like if you go near the big mountain, you cannot see the big mountain. You have to be away. And then you see. In the same way, when you want to do some work with anyone, try to see that you are not closely related, nor do you have any connections with them. Something unknown. These people are much better for you to follow. And they will keep your attention tight, absolutely. Otherwise, the people who are known to you will trouble. Now, there are many difficulties in spreading Sahaja Yoga. There were many, many more before. Slowly, these are coming down. Naturally, it is much better than at the time of Thomas because he had to hide his treatise, save it from others. He thought a day will come when there will be resurrection time then these treaties would be. Imagine, only 48 years back, now it would be about 53 years, 50 years back, it was discovered. It was not discovered before. He had to hide it. But now we are not to hide. We have to go all out and must know, must forgive. That, you see, ours is an open place where anybody can come in. So we get all kinds of people. If we go and meet people also, there is all kinds of oppositions. All these things, doesn't matter. Everything can be overcome. But first is your own initiative and your own lethargy which has to be overcome. Then it will start spreading out. Of course, we have already a lot of Sahaja Yogis. In Russia, if you say, we have so many in thousands. But in every place, we can have lots of people now. And I'm sure this is a nice year where they say so predict that Sahaja Yoga will grow very much this year. So this is the beginning we are starting today. I just wanted to tell you that you have the power. You have the Shakti within your reach. They said it was very cold one day before I came. I said, don't worry. I didn't give Bandhanat. I just came here. And how they know? It's become all right. You are sitting in your kurta pajamas. As otherwise you would have been in your three-piece suit shivering. That's how it works. But you have to be that way dedicated. Now for all these Surya and Chandra and all these stars and the whole cosmos has only one thing to do, is to see that Sahaja Yoga is spreading well, is settling well, and is achieving its goal. Every element is working it out. Everything is working. This Param Chaitanya is working out in so many ways. You are not to be convinced about me, I know. But now you have to be convinced about yourself that you have all the powers. I mean, I don't do anything really, to be very frank. If I could do everything, I would not have had it. I would have done it myself. But you have to do it. You are my channels. You are the channels of Shakti. But do it in a way which is gracious, which is beautiful, which is very satisfying. Like yesterday's that musician. He just wanted to entertain. He wanted to play. He wanted, when he was enjoying it. In the same way, we should want to do it. I don't have to tell. And I'm sure in every area that you work, in every personality whom you meet, you can start talking about Sahaja Yoga and tell them. It works. It acts. Moreover, it is behind you the whole power of all the deities. And in front is Sahaja Yoga running forward, fast, this Param Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Bangalore in this, well, lovely morning for us here in England. But I suppose it's post-lunch and a nice afternoon, probably siesta time there. So thank you so much for taking the time out to join us, to share your experiences with Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi herself. So we have today with us a whole panel here, and it's a very nice mix of Sahaja Yogis who've got their realization in different places and different times. So if we could start with Uncle Chandrashekhar, please, because it's very beautiful how Shrimataji just engineered this whole session to share your experiences. So, if you would, could you tell us, please, when you got your realization, where were you in life, and what was your first meeting with Shrimataji? When did it happen? So, if you could tell us that, please.
Shri Mataji. By Mother's grace, I took realization in July 1990. It so happened I was not aware of this yoga and other things. I had sufficient mental agony. If I had delayed by under a week or so, I would have been admitted in mental hospital only. That was my condition. It so happened, Shimataji sent my younger sister from Andhra to Karnataka. She had come here and she took me to the center, Bangalore center. When we went there, only two Sahaja Yogis were there. One Mr. Manohar and Manorama. Only two were there. And as usual, three Mahamantras and Shimata's speech they played. And after the realization, after Shimata's speech and thing, they gave me realization. I didn't know what type of realization then. Just he asked me to, Shimataji, please come to my heart, please come to my head. That was the only two sentence he asked me to say. I did not feel anything. It was raining outside and very shivering also at the same time. I was sweating like anything. And I told him, normally meditation means we should get peace of mind and we should be relaxed, but I did not feel anything. What should I do? He said, don't worry, you do foot soaking. He gave me Shimata's photo also. Meditate at home. 1 week I did not feel anything because I did not do foot soaking also at the same time. And after doing foot soaking, vibrations flow like anything on one hand. That is on my left hand, not on the right hand. So it's happened. One Mr. MS Rao was here. He was senior to me by 1 year. I went to his house to explain about Sahaja Yoga. And I told him, I'm very busy man. Please explain me about Sahaja Yoga. He started explaining, and it was so interesting. I enjoyed his explanation. And he said, ask me to keep both hands in front of Shimataji. I did that. Even I felt only in one hand on that day. Mr. MS Rao told me you're feeling only one vibrations on left hand, not on the right hand. Are Baba, you are right. But how you are able to make out? My experience. He said that is the specialty in Sahaja Yoga. After some time, you will also understand why it is like that actually. And gradually, every Saturday, I was attending by catching sometimes two buses, three buses. I was attending regularly, enjoying totally. And mostly after some time, only three were there. Gradually, one by one started. We were actually, Yashoda is there, Sandhya is there, no? Sandhya's papa, they were coming from Doddapallapur. Doddapallapur is around 50 kilometers from Bangalore. They were traveling from that place every Saturday. We were enjoying their company, their love, and it's I never expected. And I was an asthmatic patient, severe asthmatic patient before Sahaja Yoga. 19 years I suffered like anything. Almost all my bank salary, 50% of salary it was going towards medicines only. Now after taking my realization, just I came to Sahaja Yoga only to get peace of mind. But I don't know how Shimataji cured my asthmatic problem. Gradually, I was forgetting to take medicines also. So till date, it is happening. Shimataji is taking care of me like anything. I'm enjoying her love every minute. I'm enjoying her love. And shall I carry on or you will interview someone?
I was just wondering, at that time, you probably had a young family as well. It's not that you were on your own, was it?
Yes, yes. Me and my wife and my daughter only we had actually when I
Okay.
took realization.
So
And they
you would
did not
all
take
go to.
realization immediately. After my just, I did not pressurize them also. After my taking self realization, 3 months after that, they took realization.
Okay.
They also continued regularly.
Thank you. Great. That's fantastic, Uncle Chandrasekhar. Thank you so much for that. We'll come back to you. Now, Mr. M.S. Rao, you had mentioned. Is that right, Shashidhar Rao, Bhaiya? Is that your father by chance, or am I mistaken?
No, no, no. This is another yogi,
Okay.
and my father's name is Venkat Rao.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're
Okay,
different.
great. Now, we talked to Prasad Rao, your younger brother, a short time ago. So, yes, I believe you had your realization not in Bangalore. Is that right?
Yes, and by the way, Prasad is my elder brother,
Oh, God.
and
I'm so sorry.
it's
It's
okay.
so
That's
hard.
quite all right. That's quite all right. Yes, we got our realization in Calcutta.
Yes. Can you tell us, please, when, where was it, and how was it? Where were
Oh,
you in
sure.
life then?
hmm So this was in 1986 March, and what happened was my father used to practice some other kind of meditation, and my brother and I also were practicing some other kind of meditation. So I don't want to name it because they are inauspicious. Doesn't matter. But as I said that okay, so my the meditation where my father practiced, there were a lot of Marwadis. So Marwadis, as we all know, are the business community class who are quite associated with these organizations called Lions Club and Rotary Club and all that. So, because they were organizing Sahaj Yoga, they gave these invitation cards to all their fellow Marwadis. And that's how my father got an invitation. Now, my father was traveling on company work to Chennai, so he would not have been the day of the program. So he asked his children, my brother and I, are you people interested in this program? So we looked at the card and said, there's still another 3 weeks to go. We'll see. And so the card was kept somewhere. And somehow on that day, we remembered that there's a program. Now we had only one card, so and we were two of us, my brother and I. So my brother said, "This program is for 3 days, so we'll do it like this: you go today, and I'll go tomorrow." So I said, "Okay." So the first day, I took the card and went. I attended the program in this beautiful hall. As I said earlier, it's a very beautiful hall in Calcutta. It's called the GD Birla Sabhagar. And so I had to show the card, get inside, and beautiful seats, air conditioned. And I heard Shri Mataji's talk. Before the talk, of course, there were some cultural programs. There was a dance, there was a singer who sang a few bhajans. So I still don't remember that it took so long, but actually, I had never any problem that the actual talk took quite a while to commence. So we had these cultural programs. Then Sri Mataji started giving the discourse. I didn't know how all this time went. Actually, it was pretty long, but I really didn't know how all this time went. I attended the program and I came home. So then my brother asked me, how was it? I said, oh, it was very nice. So he said, what was it all about? I was totally blank. I said, anyway, you're going tomorrow. Why didn't you go and listen to it yourself? But then I was just, when he asked me what was it about, I was just pondering about it. I said, there was something there. It seemed as though, a whole lot of questions somewhere at the back of the mind got answered. It's, like little windows keep opening and you get a different picture and a different picture. And, those that kind of thing happened. It's not that I really felt the vibrations on my hand, but I was totally spellbound. So then the next day, my brother took the card and he left home. So after he left home, I thought, what is this? After all, I'm not robbing anyone. There's no entry fee. I have gate crashed many a program. You know, what's another program? So I left home 15 minutes after he did. I'm saying this because there's a very nice incident which happened. So I reached the hall, and as was it, I mind you, I was 27 years at that time, well versed with a lot of how to get around obstacles and those kind of things. So I was standing across the road from the hall and observing the scene. How can I best get in? And I saw one gentleman wearing a volunteer's badge standing at the gate. He was my school teacher. So this was in 1986, and I had left school in 1976, 10 years later. So he was wearing this badge. He was my school teacher, but he had never taught me because he was teaching the commerce students and I was a science student. I said, not an issue. So I went up to him and I told him, good evening, sir. He looked at my face and he said, Shashidhar. I was stunned. I said, yes, sir. 1976 batch. Oh my God, this was too much. I said, yes, sir. Science stream. I said, yes, sir. I was amazed. 10 years later, a teacher, has new fresh batch of students coming every year, and how remember your name and so on and so forth. I really stunned. So he said, what are you doing here? I said, sir, I want to attend the program and I don't have a card. He said, that's all. Okay, come. You go in. And I also attended the program. Now this was another thing I have to share because it's significant. So this second day program I enjoyed thoroughly, absolutely. And after the program was over, I was just walking down the aisle of the hall. And I noticed one lady who was a very senior functionary in the earlier meditation I was doing. She was sitting in the audience. So I went up to her and greeted her. And she looked at me as though she's been caught doing something wrong because she was from another stream of meditation and she was attending this program on Sahaja Yoga. I found it very funny. I thought in my mind, okay, we were practicing something. We have not sold ourselves. There's no kind of a binding. Wherever we find God, we will go. That's all. Why is there? What is there to be afraid? But she probably must have been earning her livelihood and didn't want to lose that. Could be. I have no idea. So that struck me, and then that's when I decided I'm not going to do the other one. In the back of my mind, I never said anything. So that was the second day, and the third day, my brother and I, both of us attended. And I'm saying this because what follows is also interesting. Then, after a couple of days, my father returned from his office trip and he asked his children, so, did you people attend? We said, yes, we did. So he said, what was it all about? We looked at each other and said, why don't you attend it yourself? The follow up is going on. Oh, that was funny. So then he came to the follow up program. Of course, Shri Mataji was not there. After 3 days, Shri Mataji traveled to another city. But there were a lot of yogis who were conducting follow up, yogis from mostly Delhi. I remember Dr. Talwar was there, and I remember Dr. Talwar, but not many other yogis. But they mostly come from Delhi. And my father attended, Yogi Mahajan. I think Yogi Mahajan was there. So my father attended the follow up and he enjoyed it. He was the first among us to feel the vibrations. So this is a little bit about my self realization and maybe the other things I'll tell later, possibly.
Okay, great. That's amazing. So in Calcutta, 27-year-olds, and you decided what was the path of truth for you. There was a moment of reckoning, and you met your, I mean, 10 years. It's amazing how teachers remember their students' names. And that was your. It wasn't a great gate crash then. It was a proper invitation, wasn't it? So. Okay, so from there then, your father also got his realization. What happens next? Is it Is it Aunty Yashoda or Sandhya Di? Can you please take the story from here and tell us who got the realization first and how did it happen? Where were you? What were you doing then? Thank you.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Sandhya, you continue?
If you want to talk, you can talk. No problem. I can talk later.
ಎನ್ನದ ತೀಪಣ್ಪನ ಅಂತ ವಿಷಯ ಕೊಡಗೆ
Yes.
ತಂತನು
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'll tell.
So I came to know Sahaja Yoga 1988. Record antunda?
Yes.
Okay. I came to know about Sahaja Yoga 1988 and my brother-in-law came to our house and Sandhya and her papa took realization first. So I told them, because we were practicing other meditation also. So I told them, you first practice, let us see how it is. Later on, I will do. That time I had a very severe sinusitis. About maybe 6-7 years I suffer. So my husband was a doctor and one day he took even appointment also to surgeon. So let us operate your near the nose. So we will take out all the fuss and blood out. So suddenly we came to know, and my brother-in-law was telling, Venkat Rao, he was telling many miracles from Shri Mataji. So Shri Mataji can cure all the disease, this, that and all. So when he gave realization to Sandhya and her papa, after 15 days, he left to Calcutta. I did not take realization. After he left, Sandhya has gone to school and her papa has gone to hospital. That time I took Shri Mataji's photo. I did not take realization, but I took Shri Mataji's photo. Because before going, my brother-in-law gave one small photograph. And he was telling every day you should do meditation. So they were doing, both of them. So one day I took that photograph into the kitchen. I kept in flat 4 and I closed the door because my mother-in-law was with me that time. So I don't want to see any other people because I was crying a lot. So I closed the door and I don't know, surrender means, I don't know what is the meaning, surrender, everything I don't know. So I did namaskara and I bowed down and I cried, Shri Mataji, I think I will going to die. Something happened inside my head. So look after my husband and children. So that then every day I was doing meditation. I don't know how to do also. After 2 months, Shri Mataji came to Bangalore. So that time I took realization. After that, I was practicing Sahaja Yoga. That time one public program was there. In that 2 months, I completely cured my sinusitis. I saw Shri Mataji after that. I took realization after that. Only the photograph in front of her, in front of photograph, I cured my sinus.
So in 1988, this is when your brother...
1989.
1988.
88, I saw her photo, and 1989 she came to Bangalore.
Okay. So when was it that you had the cure? Was it in 88 itself or was it in 89?
88 I cured. 89 January she came to Bangalore. By the time I completely cured.
Wow. So you didn't even have your realization and you just had the photograph and Shri Mataji, you prayed to her and
Yes.
you were
After
cured.
that I took Yes, after that I took realization.
Yes, so you had the proof of the pudding, and so naturally, and that makes sense. Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay, here just say that Shashidhar Rao Bhaiya, your father is related to Auntie, because Auntie and your mother were sisters. Is that right?
No, auntie's husband and my father are brothers.
Okay, great. So that's it's I'm getting all the relationships here.
Yes, yes.
mixed up.
We came through this Shashidhar and her father and Prasad Rao.
Yes,
We came
exactly.
through them.
Okay, brilliant. So at that time, then, as you say, Sandhya Di, you were a student in school.
Yes.
And you got your realization a few months before, like Auntie was saying there, Aunty Yashoda Rao. Could you tell us what it was like? What were you doing, and how did it feel before and after for you?
Okay. So when I got my realization, it was actually December 88. So I don't remember the exact date.
That's fine.
Uh, but as Shashi Bhaiya and my mother said, they were practicing some other meditation. I was not very keen to join it. In fact, there was an age with which you could join it. You should be 15 years, 16 years or so. So my parents were saying, okay, another one more year and then you will join meditation. But I was not interested. I didn't want to do that. And somehow when Sahaja Yoga came, I think I just jumped into it. I said, yes, this is what I want. I don't know why I came into Sahaja Yoga. To be very frank, because I was not in an age where I could, understand Sahaja Yoga thoroughly. But I just knew that Sahaja Yoga is for me at that moment. And when my uncle gave realization, yes, I did feel the cool breeze on my head and on my hands. And as mummy said, that she had the severe sinusitis, and every time she would come and tell me, look after your papa, I won't live for long. But these things, it never struck me that mommy would just go away like that one day, or leave me and things like that never strike me. But what we found out was that gradually when Shrimataji came next year in 89, February she came, not in January, February she came, and we went to Guru Nanak Hall for the realization program. So before this, what happened was we were staying in a very remote place in Karnataka. And we were one of the first few people in Karnataka. And as Shashi Bhaiya's father, he gave us realization in December, and he told us that Shri Mataji will be coming to Bangalore in February and you have to attend the program. Now he said maybe some people, I have informed some people who will inform you about the program, but we didn't get any information, as at that time telephones, mails, especially in India, was very slow. And telephone was only in my father's hospital. So you never know if you get a call at night. We didn't have a telephone at home. So nobody would inform us. But then suddenly, what happened in January? Then we completely forgot about the program or anything. And in in February, one day, my brother, who was staying in another town, he's just a year older than me, and he was studying in another town. So he came up one day suddenly in the morning and he says, I saw Shrimataji's advertisement in a paper and we should all go for the program. Then we asked him, what is the date? He said, I forgot to see the date. Okay. So then we asked him, which newspaper did you see? Then he said, one Kannada newspaper. We have these local newspapers in Kannada, and one particular newspaper, the name. So then what do we do? So me and my brother, we went all over the town asking every house if they have this newspaper. We didn't know whom, but anybody, we knew all the people we knew. We started asking them, do you have this newspaper from this date? And you won't believe, but Shrimataji showed us the way. And we got that newspaper, and we went to this program in Guru Nanak Hall. And that was on February 9th, I think, if I'm not wrong, 1989. It's the first time we saw Shrimataji. And to be very frank, I don't remember what Shrimataji talked on that day, and there is no video recording of that. But I was just stunned to see Shrimataji. first time. And in the first row on the left side of the stage, we were all sitting. We were a huge family who went. It was not just me, my papa, and we both, and me and my brother. And we had one more, my father's sister, who also came with her husband. So we were all sitting in the first row listening to Shri Mataji. At the end of the speech, Shri Mataji walked up to the corner of the stage. She came, she looked at us, and she smiled. And then she called out to me. She said, "Please come here." But I wouldn't go because I was very shy to go to her. I think I regret it now why I didn't go. Okay. Yes, so she called out, and she played a very, a very subtle Maya at that time. So my uncle, my I can say my father's sister's husband, he was not so much of a believer, in God or in all these meditations and things like that. So he went up to the stage and he told Sri Mataji, "Do you know Mr. Rao from Calcutta?" Because and Sri Mataji said, "I don't know him." And that, that thing just pushed him away from Sage Yoga. I think he said she didn't recognize Mr. Rao. Then how do you call her divine? And then he never came into Sage Yoga. So that was a small Maya that Shumataji had played at that time.
Yeah.
And after that, though we didn't have much personal interaction with Sri Mataji, we could see her blessings pour every moment and everywhere. Though we were the only people, practicing Sage Yoga there. And once a week, we used to come to Bangalore, travel to Bangalore about 50 kilometers just to attend the collectivity. And collectivity was only about 2 or 3 families, that's all. But it
Wow.
was a very nice journey.
Oh, so it must have been a very close, intimate family sort of, collectivity, isn't it? As Sahaj collectives are now, but many more times bigger. But what
Yes.
was it like for you? Because you were in school then. So did you notice any change in your academics and how you kind of progressed at all?
Uh, yes, that also I found out, but also I was asthmatic, as it is also in the family. And, to deal with asthma was a difficult thing at that time. I used to get very severe attacks of asthma, especially at night. Then going to school in the morning was a burden for me. Because again, I had to travel to go to school, another 35 kilometers away. We had no school in that place. So all this, I found a lot of changes in me as I started practicing Sage Yoga. My attacks, asthmatic attacks came down, and I could feel that strength within me. I was not a very confident person at that time because the heart was catching.
Yeah.
So gradually, I could feel that all those changes which started coming in.
Just a curious question here. So you were in a remote part of Karnataka and your school was 35 kilometers or so away. How were you commuting every day? Because it's a long school day in any case.
Yes, by the local bus. By the
So by
local
the look,
bus.
okay, so you get the morning bus and then come back.
Yes,
Okay,
so it
great.
was exactly at 8:30. I had my bus used to come. If I missed that, I missed school. So it was like that.
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic. And now we go to Pradyoth Verma ji. Thank you so much for waiting so patiently for your turn.
I will just ask Sandhya because she was continuing.
Yeah.
Sandhya, the 89, can you tell about the puja? Let her finish about the puja
Yes.
that was there because I have some photographs which I would like to show. It will be a continuation because, after the program there was a puja. Sandhya, you can tell about the Ganesha puja.
Yes. So 89 February after Shrimati came to Bangalore for the public program, I think it must be around the end of 89 we had this Shri Ganesh Puja. And it was held at our leader's house, Mr. Manohar's house. It was a small place, not very big. And as Shri Mataji entered the gate, she asked, "Do you all have miracle photographs in Bangalore?" So we all said, "No, Shri Mataji." She said, and she just entered the house, and then we had a puja. She said, let us all have Shri Ganesha puja. And in the Ganesh puja, we had some yogis who came from Chennai also, very few people who came. She said, we'll have Ganesh puja. And ultimately, it turned into Mahishasura Mardini puja. The thing was, there were not many people who knew how to sing a lot of bhajans. So, as South Indians, we all sang the mantras or the Mahishasura Mardini stotra, the Annapurna stotra, and all these kind of stotras that we are usually used to here in South India. But Shrimataji was very pleased with that. And after that, also during this puja, there was we didn't have ornaments to decorate Shri Mataji. So the decoration for Shri Mataji was completely decorated with the jasmine flowers. So that also you can see in this photograph. It's beautiful. All the crown and on the hands and everything was decorated with jasmine flowers. It was very, very beautiful. And then continuously there were about 20 to 25 miracle photographs in this puja. It was a very, very beautiful puja. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think Pradyoth will show a few photographs of that puja.
Yes,
We
please.
don't have a video recording of it.
That's okay.
Can you share the button you'll have to, or you can make me a co-host, then I'll be able to share.
Okay, let's see how we do that. Nope. Allow, that's it. Go on, please.
Are you able to see?
Not, yes, now we are, yes.
So this is when she just entered the gate.
Wow.
Okay, so you can see also the light on her left Vishuddhi.
Yes.
So she asked, at this moment, she asked, do you have any miracles photographs in Bangalore? And then we all said yes. So this is the photograph. You can see the vibrations coming from the lamp on the left side.
Yes.
Yeah. And also
Yes.
on the right. On the right.
From the Kalash, yes. There's one more photograph where you'll see it from the Kalash.
No, I think here also you can see it again.
Yes, this is.
Yes, beautiful. These are the photographs that Uncle you emailed kindly. Yes, thank you. Great, amazing.
Yes. So also there were vibrations coming from a young boy, and then coming from Shri Mataji entering into a young boy also.
Yeah.
So there were. This is on one of her feet. Yes, so here you can see the vibrations coming from Shri Mataji and entering into him as three Shaktis. Okay, this little bit I'll just explain a little bit because Mataji's talked about this. So so you can see on the left side, can you see a silver kind of thing?
Yeah.
So that is her Trishul. And she said this is the killing of Mahishasura. Okay, so you can also see the head on the right side. Yeah. On the left side is the Trishul and the right side is the head under Shri Mataji's lotus feet.
Yeah. And that's Shri Mataji's lotus feet. Wow.
Yes. Yes. The next photograph. Yes. So here you can see that she's completely decorated only with jasmine flowers.
Wow, beautiful. And a beautiful mukut as well.
Yes.
Yes. Everything made from flower. This was from the Kalash. So you can see the Kalash. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. So this is January 1989.
No. This is in the end of January 88.
End of January.
End of not January 88.
December 88.
Yes.
December
End of the year 88. That's what I don't have the exact date with me.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I tried to look the talks on Amrita, and the latest that came for Bangalore was 1990. one that we heard as we started our session today.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I
Sandhya,
think
it
there
must
is.
be Sandhya, it must be 89 February only.
Same, other time I think she came in.
Yes, yes.
Ah,
Yeah, 9th or 10th something.
Okay.
After that.
maybe. I don't remember much about this.
I know
Whether
you
it
were
was
far too young then.
yes, also. So I don't remember much. But I think it was 89, maybe February, because also there's a possibility because jasmine flowers are usually available in the month of
That's
March.
good. Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Oh,
also.
fantastic. Fine.
Okay.
So from you over to your husband, Pradyoth Bhaiya?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I think I came to Sahaja Yoga in 1992. Shri Mataji had come in 91. The talk that you played just now. So I just missed that. But one day before was a public program, and my mausi, that is my mother's younger sister's husband, who was very close, and his parents, and were very close to Shashi Bhaiya's family. Matlab his father and Venkat Rao were colleagues in Calcutta. Okay, so they knew each other. So when Venkat Rao uncle had come here, he had come to their house and said, you should join. And he was a ship captain, and he always, he was looking for, different types of things. So he went for the public program, and he was very impressed. So he came back and he told his wife, that is my mother's youngest sister, and then she went. And then she also felt, no, for the follow-up program she went. She didn't meet Shimathji. And then she went for the program and she found it very good again. And then she told my mother, and my mother went for the program. That was happening in Venkatrao uncle's house, because he had shifted from Calcutta to Bangalore at that time. He had just shifted to Bangalore.
Yes. Oh, we lost you there. The connection dropped for Pradyoth ji.
And college was about. Sorry. I was out of this one. Is it okay now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where did you lose me? I mean.
So your mother went for the program, and then Mr. Venkat Rao had just come to Bangalore.
Yeah.
And
So I was away. I was not in Bangalore. I was in a small. My college was about 300 kilometers from Bangalore, in a place called Bangalore near the seashore. I was in a hostel there, so I'd come for my, in a semester holidays. So my mother said, "I think this is very good. I think you should go." And in our family, if my mother says something, I have to do it.
in all families, yes.
I
Mom's always right.
Mom is always right. So I went, and of course, it was being conducted in Venkat Rao uncle's house, and I took my realization. I didn't feel anything, but I was extremely impressed by what he said. Especially I was very attracted to a word which I remember very well. I came back to my grandmother and I told her, "Do you know that inside us there is something in our heart called as the Atma?" I never knew anything about it. I had no idea. I said there are something called chakras, but I was very impressed with the Atma part of it. And that is all. But then I was there for 4 weeks. I took it in the first week of January, I remember. That was January 8th. And then I was there for 1 month. And every Wednesday, I went to, there was a follow-up for almost 7 or 8 days. Because, around 7 to 8 weeks after the realization was done. Because Shrimataji had come in December. And then the follow-up for that was happening in his house, and so I was there for almost all of them. And at the end of it, I used to go because I was finding it interesting the way he used to talk and talk about chakras, and every time he used to talk about something. And on the last day, there was no arati and all of that, and on the last day, he put that lecture of the declaration of the Advent. And then they had the arti. First of all, it shocked me when I heard what Shri Mataji revealed, and then the Aarti time I got the, I think I got, I could feel vibrations. It just came out of my head and it just stayed for a very long time. So it was like crazy. So I used to tell everybody, and I know when I went back home also, I was telling, yes, it's still coming. It is still coming. So that was a good experience for me. But then I had a disadvantage of, or I would say, because I was not in Bangalore, and it was in Bangalore. So when I told Venkatrao uncle, then he said, no, you do your meditation, take the photograph, and he said you should do foot soaking. And now in a hostel, it was very difficult. But I was blessed. Why? Because next to our hostel was a beach, and for 4 years I never foot soaked in my room at all.
No need.
Never. I mean, even during monsoon, I was the only crazy boy. They used to tease me a lot. I used to take an umbrella and go to the because I think that compensated the lack of collectivity I had. I think so.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
amazing the foot soaking in that beach for 4 years, and
Yes.
after the meditation and this. So this is my start in Sahaja Yoga.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing how you got to your self-realization and
Sushma Ji, Mr. Pradyoth Verma is aware of, or I don't know whether he's aware of or not. After taking realization from Mr. Venkat Rao, Mr. Venkat Rao told me that he is a born realized. Pradyoth Verma is a born realized. It's very good vibrations he is emitting. Probably he is not aware of it actually.
possibly. The vibrations are all very beautiful, as all talk about Srimataji in your recollection. So yes, we're just enjoying the collectivity. Tell us then, what happens from here in your journey in Sahaja Yoga, in your meetings with Srimataji? Some of it might have been face to face, some probably more in the spiritual, deeper connection. Is there any outstanding experiences or what people generally called as miracles that you'd like to share?
Can I?
Yes, please.
Ah,
And everybody, just one after the other.
ah,
Thank
ah.
you.
The thing is, as you mentioned, no, in 91, Shimataji came to Bangalore. And at that time, ninth was the music program was there, 10th was the puja. Around 400 Sahajogis had come to Bangalore. We were only a handful of Sahajogis at that time. And I was 40 years then. I was the only Yushakti I can say that time, or during that puja and arranging for public program. Mr. Venkatrao is also helping. For puja, only two persons are there. Me and Mr. Venkatrao was the puja committee members actually at that time. And after puja, Shimataji came at about 12 o'clock to Rashtrotana Parishat. It's in area Chamarajpet in Bangalore. She came at about 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock puja started. Up to 5:30 it went up very well. And 6:30 was the public program arranged in Shivaji Nagar Stadium. And Shimataji said, I'm very fresh. I'm enjoying totally right now. Directly from, let us go to public program. And we all prayed, Shimataji, please take sufficient rest. Already, almost 5.5 to 6 hours puja took place. Please take rest. After that, we will go to public program, he said. Still, she was persisting. She reached by 7 o'clock, and very good speech she had given. Excellent program was that day, and we were all quite new. And at the same time, backdrop, no, that flowers and I think we in the public program, we were all, as I said, we were only hardly a handful of Sarjogis there. We did not have a big purse also. Whatever on puja desk stage, no, that flowers, we took those flowers and put it in stadium also, same flowers only. Shimataji was appreciating, like taking, oh, very good decoration, very good flowers, like that she was appreciating. One of the Sahaja Yogis took photos. In that photo, you will find 78 deities have come in that. That was the special, actually. I never felt, actually. I did not know so many deities will come in photos, and I never heard also earlier. That was fantastic experience I had that day, actually. And in 1991, I had been to Ganapati Pule, where I was just one of the Sahajogis from Hyderabad came there, asked me, "Oh, you speak Telugu?" Yes, 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 yes. But one thing you are ashamed to tell me, you have not translated in Kannada translation book is there. Whereas Kerala, Tamil Nadu, everybody has got introduction book with them. Whereas in Karnataka, you don't have. You are ashamed of it. Are you not ashamed of it? Then what should I do? Then he gave me one English book and one Telugu book. And I knew only little Telugu, little Kannada, and little English only. So with the help of MS Rao and my wife, by mother's grace, we translated within 15 days into Kannada. And for approval, that is 90, I think 92 or 91 birthday puja, we went to Bombay, where after puja on the stage, we went to take permission from Shri Mataji for printing. And at the same time, I had many things in my mind. I want to talk to Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, I'm enjoying Sahaja Yoga. I want to spread Sahaja Yoga throughout Karnataka. But when I saw her, no, I could not open my mouth. I was shivering literally. And it so happened she blessed me like anything. After coming out to Bangalore from Bombay, from next day onwards, she gave me many opportunities to go to schools, go to colleges, go to other places to for spread up Sahaja Yoga. That's a fantastic experience I had actually.
One more that you could probably share with us is when you went to Ganpati Pule for the first time, Uncle. It was very soon after you
90,
had got your
90
realization.
yes. In July 90, I came to Sahaja Yoga. December itself, I went to Ganapati Pule within
And
6 months.
then there was somebody who heard you, somebody who recognized and understood Telugu, and then they told you off for coming so early. Would you share that
Yes,
experience
yes.
with us, please? Why was that?
No, actually, me and my brothers were talking in Kannada there, Telugu. So that fellow, that Govind Rao and Mohan Rao was there from Hyderabad. Oh, you speak Telugu? Oh, yes, I told you. Then he said me, why don't you translate it in Kannada? There is no material available in Kannada. So because I knew only little Kannada, I knew only little Telugu. How can I translate? Anyway, Shimataji will help you. Don't worry. Leave it everything to Shimataji, he said. And came to Bangalore. Very next day, we started translation work. That is from Telugu book to Kannada or English to Kannada.
Did
Well, in
they
that introduction, tell me.
Sorry, did they actually say that was there something like you have to be practicing Sahaja Yoga for maybe a certain period of time before you went to seminars like that or not?
No, 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 no. We
No.
were only handful of Sahaja Yogis. I told you, no, nobody told me
Yeah.
not to go to Ganapati Pule.
Okay.
After Mr. Venkatrao came from Calcutta, he was actually telling us minimum 2 years he had to be in Bangalore, then
Okay.
only you are allowed to go to Ganapati Pule.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Uncle. That's fantastic. Okay. Over to who's going to be next, please, on sharing the miracles. Um,
Yeah, shall I? Yeah, sorry,
yes.
Pradyoth, you want to say? Go ahead, go ahead.
I was suggesting that you should say because you have
Hmm.
so many stories about with Sri
Oh,
Mataji.
Yes,
okay,
please.
so I just want to say one thing before I continue. Everyone has stories, okay?
Absolutely.
And also, it should not be that people who were there when Shrimati was in Sakar form are more fortunate. I would not say so.
No.
All right. Third thing is, it's not everyone who has been close to Srimati physically, and it's not also that everyone has the opportunity to converse and interact with Srimati the way normal human beings do. Even so, there are many people when Srimati was there in Sakar form who have not even met Srimati, who have not attended a Sakar puja or a program, but they still are enjoying their miracles in their life. They
Yes.
still are enjoying their spiritual ascent, which is the most amazing thing about Sahaja Yoga. This is what I
Absolutely.
understand. So, if there's one incident you can say that which happened when Srimati was there in Sakar form, which I was fortunate enough to witness, which I will talk about. So this was, I think, probably 1996. I will have to check it out because Amrita says there was a program in 96 in Nepal. And this kind of fits because my son was still small and the leader of Nepal at that time was Lisa Lotter. I don't know whether you have heard of her. Shrimati had given her the name Leela. Okay. She used to run this center in Nepal. Very dynamic lady. Her husband ran a center in Nepal called the Old Vienna Inn. It was in the central part of Kathmandu called Thamel. And his restaurant was very popular. Now, Nepal was full of tourists who used to come to visit the Himalayas. You know, their idea of the esoteric East was Nepal in a way.
Yes.
And they were mostly from Germany and Austria, Switzerland, these tourists. And when they left home, they knew if they wanted home food, the best kind of European food, you have to go to Old Vienna Inn, which was run by the husband of Lisa, the Leela. Okay. So a lot of tourists used to come to her husband's restaurant in Nepal. So I'm just giving a bit of a background. And she used to keep Sahaja leaflets on every table in the restaurant. And the moment she saw a tourist is reading those pamphlets carefully, she used to slowly walk up to that table, sit down, and start explaining about Sahaja. So, and a lot of our Sejogis from Europe have got their realization in this fashion via Nepal. So there's a bit of a background. My wife, who's from Germany, she also got her realization in Nepal. She was a tourist, and Lisa brought her home after she got her realization, asked her to stay for a few days so that she can grow deeper. That's how she came to Sahaja. So this was a bit of a background. So in 96, we heard that Shri Mataji is going to Nepal for a public program. So Lisa called up my wife and said, why don't you also come over? So all of us went, my family, my wife, I, and my son. So we went to Nepal. And the incident I want to relate is a bit which happened the day Shri Mataji was leaving Nepal. So before that, what happened was many Sahajogis who had come to attend the program, let's say from Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, they had booked their return flight with Indian Airlines, and Shri Mataji was returning with Royal Nepal Airlines. So the Sahajogis wanted very badly to change the tickets from Indian Airlines to Royal Nepal Airlines so that they could travel with Shri Mataji. So they tried their level best through an agent, through this and that, and nothing was working out. Then when Shrimati was coming down the stairs, this was the day of the departure, when Shrimati was coming down the stairs and she asked another yogi, what happened to the tickets? Did they manage to get it changed to Royal Nepal? So the yogi said, no, Shrimati, they could not. Then Shrimati asked, so who tried to change the ticket? So they said, we had given it to a travel agent. Then Shri Mataji said, it would have been better if a Sahajogi had tried, it would have worked out. Meaning, not a travel agent, but a Sahajogi should have tried to change his tickets. So that was one part of it. Then Shri Mataji left the house, Lisa's house, and she had to go shopping. And from there, she was to come to the airport. So the other yogis, including me, we traveled directly to the airport to wait for Shri Mataji's arrival. Now, when we reached the airport, there was another tantric kind of a guru who had reached the airport. All his disciples were women, so there was a bit of a crowd. We were hardly about 7, 8, 10 yogis waiting for Shri Mataji. And this crowd was about 70, 100 odd people. So we saw all this and said, my God, this is so inauspicious. I hope all this crowd disperses before Shri Mataji arrives. Then the police got into the act. They said, what is all this crowd in front of the airport? You guys, you disperse. So the people dispersed, and this tantric kind of a guru, he went inside the airport and he was standing behind the glass. There was a glass wall in front of the airport. He was standing behind the glass and still blessing all his disciples like that. So this was going on. But at least the crowd had gone. And after maybe another 15 minutes, we saw Shri Mataji's car arriving. So we were all excited. Shri Mataji came. We received Shri Mataji. Then one of the yogis handed me a bag and said, you must come inside. You have to carry this bag. Normally, by nature, I'm a backbencher. So I said, okay. So I picked up the bag and was walking behind Shri Mataji. And other yogis had gone ahead to do the kind of check-in formalities. So Shri Mataji is walking, and I'm walking about 3 paces behind. Suddenly, I remembered this tantric. So I looked around. Where is he gone? He was standing behind the glass, with blessing his disciples, that kind of a thing. And Shri Mataji had also stopped right in front of me. And Shri Mataji was looking at the staircase. Now, those days, there were no escalators and things like that. You had to climb a staircase in the Kathmandu airport. And Shri Mataji was looking at the staircase. I looked at the staircase and saw this tantric was running up the stairs. He was wearing one of those long robe kind of things. He had lifted the robe a bit, otherwise he couldn't have run. And he was running as though he was scared of Shri Mataji. And Shri Mataji was just standing there looking at him, and I heard Shri Mataji say in a very low voice, "Pata nahi iska kya hone wala hai?" Meaning, I don't know what's going to happen to him. So this was something so amazing that this evil fellow knows who Shri Mataji is. That's why he's scared of her. Otherwise, why would he be? So this was really incredible. So I thought I should say this, if you can, these moments with Shri Mataji.
Very, very very profound and yet very comical. It's like straight out of a movie, isn't it? The negativity lifting its robe, running up the stairs away from the Adishakti herself. But what you actually remind us, the year, is this
96.
1996 in Kathmandu airport.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Another point that you actually picked on was this tantric black magic. This is something which is kind of in Calcutta, in West Bengal, and in many parts of India. It is very prevalent. Was there anything that Srimataji actually told in her interactions to, because people get into a lot of do this, do that, but also there is the Sahaj techniques which protect us. Was there anything that comes to your attention that you could share with our viewers?
Look, I don't want to say something which is hearsay, but in the year 86, when we got our realization, we were so fortunate. It's really amazing. You can listen to those 3 days of public program talks, which I mentioned, 31st of March, 1st of April, 2nd of April, back-to-back public programs. It was so amazing. Shri Mataji has covered virtually everything, including chakras. The third day, Shri Mataji spoke about every chakra. And after that, we had, this is another amazing thing, in the same year, not in March or April, sometime later. So there's a place next to the lakes in Calcutta, which is called as Lions Safari Park. Again, the Lions Club is involved here. So they arranged that Sahaja Yogis can use this park for their program. So we had set up a pandal, and very basic, very basic. It was like 4 pillars, thatched roof and a mud floor covered with cow dung and a beautiful garden and the lakes behind. Shri Mataji came for almost a week every day in the daytime. And you will find these talks in Amrita. And Shri Mataji spoke about everything under the sun, including tantrics, including um, cures for various things. But we didn't get any specific instruction that we should do this by way of rituals. No, not really.
No, because
Not
as Sahaja Yogis, we have that protection from the goddess with abundance.
Look, there is no why. Shri Mataji, what is good for people at what time, Shri Mataji will tell you.
Absolutely.
And it is not one size fits all.
No. No, it's only a mother can do it, isn't it? The
Yes,
attention to
yes.
detail and how she addresses each one of us individually. And it's just such a blessing to be her child. And
Yes.
yes, thank you for also highlighting that, okay, people who had that sakshat uh, presence with Shimataji, as Uncle was saying, it's not for everyone to be able to hold themselves in front of the goddess. And also, why we are doing these golden memories is essentially to capture those moments, because even now we are very blessed that we have the blessing of attending pujas with Shrimataji in her form and formless. But in times to come, there'll be fewer people who would have had that advantage of being in her physical presence. And it started, this project started like because my father, I was born in Calcutta, so we have that Calcutta connection. And he said, like Shirdi Sai Baba, people look after his stories, there are books and books. But now you have this audio visual thing, and in times to come, in 100 years, 1,000 years, people will want to know more about Srimataji, and they'll probably even think, really, did this incarnation actually happen? Like we talk about, like normally, ordinarily, people think, oh, it's mythology. So that's the whole idea of capturing those physical moments for eternity by Srimataji's grace, to have it for everyone and anyone who would like to enjoy, because this is a blessing that Srimataji has given to holy humanity. Anyone who wants it can have it, provided they are pure and sincere in their outlook and in their seeking, isn't it?
Sure, sure. So
So,
I would like to say one more incident.
yes,
Okay.
please.
I'm saying this purely not because I am involved here, but I hope that people get an idea about the love of Srimataji, because it's not easy to define. It's absolutely, you cannot put it in words. It's not some human thing we have in a concept, some kind of thing we have. So this was an incident which happened in 1989, uh, probably 25th of March, 1989 in Calcutta. So what happened was, at that time I was living in Delhi. I had moved to Delhi from Calcutta. I was working for some company over there, and I was enjoying Sahaja Yoga very much because Delhi was a seat where there were a lot of Sahaja Yogis. You could learn a lot. That was my only intention of moving from Calcutta to Delhi. I wanted to be out of my comfort zone and focus only on Sahaja Yoga, not the same old school friends and this and that. So in Delhi, we got the news that Srimati is going to come to Calcutta and there'll be a puja. And the puja is going to be a morning puja. Okay. The date was given, 25th of March, probably. And so I somehow managed to leave so that I could come to Calcutta for a day. Booking train tickets in those days not easy. 1986, there was no online booking, nothing. You really had to wake up at 6 in the morning, go to the booking office, and get yourself a place in the line. And when the counter opens at 9:30, if you're lucky, you get your ticket. That's how it was. So I got leave and I managed to book my train ticket. And because they said it's going to be a morning puja, My return ticket was for the same day. Probably the train was leaving at 7:30 in the evening from Calcutta back to Delhi. So this was the travel arrangements, and I reached Calcutta. Of course, my parents were still living in Calcutta at that time, so I went home, I rested, and early morning I went to the airport to receive Shri Mataji. Now, Shri Mataji, I'm not sure Shri Mataji was coming from Lucknow or some other city, and mother's flight was delayed, and but we received Shri Mataji at the airport, and then we came back to the puja venue. I have to tell you a bit about this puja venue because that is part of this whole story. People who know Calcutta in 1989, those that period, see, it was a hotbed of something called Naxalism. Naxalism was some kind of a subversive, semi-communist activity where probably they were fighting the government on behalf of the downtrodden. At least that's what they claimed, and doing all kinds of subversive activities. So 24 Parganas, which was near the Damdam airport, was where the puja venue was. And 24 Parganas was the hotbed of these Nakshal activities in those days. That is one thing. Second thing is because of this lawlessness, many of the unruly elements, the ruffians, the hooligans, they take advantage of the situation and rob people. So this was very common in those days. So this was the venue, the puja venue, and by the time the puja started, it was post lunch. Okay. And then there were a few bhajans, and by the time actually the puja started, it was almost 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and my train was at 7:30. And people who know Calcutta should also know that to go from 24 Parganas to Hooghly railway station, you need at least 3 hours in those days because there could be a traffic jam at the drop of a hat. So I'm sitting in the puja at 4 o'clock and thinking about my train. So I was totally in a turmoil, absolute turmoil. I didn't know what to do. Should I get up and leave? Because it's not easy to rebook your ticket, to cancel it, and all that. I'm not giving excuses, but these things were going in my mind. Finally, at 4:30, I said, "What is the point in sitting here with your mind in a turmoil? There's a puja going on. It is pointless for you to sit in this state." Somehow I convinced myself, no, this cannot be. I had already packed my bag. I picked up the bag and left the puja in the middle of a puja. I mean, now I realize what a stupid thing it was, but nevertheless, I got up, picked up my bag, and left the puja venue. I hailed a taxi and sat in the taxi. Now the taxi moves. It hardly has moved for about 300 meters or 400 meters, and the taxi driver stops and takes another guy in front. Kind of his friend, one of his friends jumps into the taxi in the front. I looked at these two guys and realized something is not all right because this is the way they do it. They drive along till they reach a secluded place and they rob the passenger and then, they throw him out of the cab. This was very common in those days. I suspected foul play. I closed my eyes and said, "Shrimataji, I know I've done something so stupid. I got in the middle of a puja. Please forgive me. I will never do it again. But I don't think something is right over here." That's all. I just closed my eyes. This all happened in seconds. I opened my eyes. The next scene I see is that the cab driver is trying to overtake something called a thela. Thela is hand cart. And he just misses the thela. Those days the cab used to have a meter on the outside, on the side. And only the meter hits the thela and his front windshield gets shattered. Nothing much happened. He's driving at a slow speed. It gets shattered and he stops. Obviously, his cab is now damaged very badly. And my bag was right next to me at the back seat. I opened the door, take out my bag, and find there's a public transport bus stopped because of this accident. I board the public transport bus and reach the railway station. I mean, this was something so amazing. All the way I was thinking, Mataji, your love is something so tremendous. I did something so stupid. Still, you saved me. This is something I always remember, all the time. So this I wanted to share.
Oh, the love and the care of our mother, Shrimati. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine now the times you're telling, and thank you for giving all those details of the handcart, the tailor, and a state transport bus waiting, much more safer. And yes, it was a very unsafe time with the Naxalites at that point of time there. And the miracle, although you had you know, taken the liberty, well, not taken the liberty, but the mind took over the heart in your case at that time, isn't it? So, yeah,
There's no reasoning. This is the way it happened.
yeah. And yet Shrimataji is there protecting. So it's
Yeah.
just Jai Shrimataji again and again. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. Um, who's going to be next? We're waiting.
Yeah, so just to continue what Shashibaya said, the way Shumataji shows her love. So this I'm sharing it on behalf of my mother because she's not very comfortable speaking in English. So I think she has logged out of the system. It's okay. So she was, you know, always staying in the guest house where Shumataji used to stay. And she was always in the background doing the cooking and the other chores. And what happened once was when Shumataji left for a public program, it's usually there are about 2 or 3 cars uh, in the guest house. The first car is Sri Mataji's car, which leaves, and maybe we have one more car where the other yogis also leave. So Sri Mataji's car left for the public program, and my mother also had to get into the car. But before that, she was given this, duty of closing all the doors, locking all the doors, and keeping everything safe, especially the silver items and things like that. So that took a little time. So she was really hurrying up because Sri Mataji's car had left, and everybody was like, please hurry up, otherwise we are going to leave you and go. And then she very hurriedly locked everything and she ran out of the door and she fell on the portico. Very badly, she fell. She got bruised on her hands and everything. And somehow she managed to get into the car and she went to the public program, and there a few yogis asked her what happened, why you have so many bruises on your hand and all that. So she said nothing happened, nothing, it's just I slipped and I fell, that's all. She didn't make a fuss out of it. But the next day there was another program for which they had to leave, and this am I stuck or am I audible?
Yes,
No,
you
you
are.
are audible.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So the next day, when the program was there was another music program or so. And then when again Mummy was given this duty of locking everything, she said, until I came out of the door, Sri Mataji's car would not leave. So she said, though Sri Mataji never asked me directly, nor did I tell her anything, she said, I could feel her love.
Yes.
I could feel her love, that she knew that I had fallen just the previous day. And she said, until I locked the door and I came out of the door, I was even carrying my slippers. She said, I felt so odd. I hid my slippers and then came out of the door because I didn't want Shri Mataji to see my slippers. And
Wow.
then she came, and once she sat inside the car, that is when Shri Mataji said, okay, now we can leave. So she says, I've never shared this with anyone, but this is what had happened.
So
And how
sweet.
Shri Mataji shows her love. And just one more incident I'll add, and then I can close this. So when we joined Sahaja Yoga, as I said, we stayed in a remote place, and my brother was studying in another place that was called as Tumkur. He was doing his engineering, first year of engineering. And one day he went out with his friends to some small picnic and all that. And there he went into a step well. You have seen step wells in India, right? So he went into the step well. He thought, let me just wash my hands and legs. And then he just went down the steps. He was washing, and suddenly he slipped into the step well. Yes, and he was sinking, and he didn't know swim. We both don't know how to swim. So he was sinking, and then he was coming up, and he didn't know what to do. And then he felt that maybe this is my end. And he just said, let me pray to Shri Mataji. He said the 3 Maha Mantras. And he said, Shri Mataji, now I surrender myself. Whatever you do is up to you. He said, I don't know from where a hefty fellow came, and he had a big turban on his head. He opened his turban, put that turban into the thing, water, and pulled me out. And by the time I came to my senses and I wanted to thank him, that fellow was gone. So I don't know who he was, who came to save me. So even though we have not interacted with Sri Mataji personally, as Shashi Bhaiya has said, we have seen a lot of these miracles around us. And also when he was in the hostel, he had a very bad experience. We had a lot of ragging in India
Yes.
at that time. So just I'll keep it short. And
No, take your time. Please share the miracles.
yes. So he had one boy who, would never pass out of that college, and he was only meant to rag all the new students who used to come to college. And this fellow ragged my brother for 1 year, one full year. He used to literally torture him. And then at the end of the year, he said, "Wait." He told my brother's name is Raghavendra. So he used to say, "Raghavendra, wait. When I come next year, I'll see to it that you're finished." So that was what he told my brother. So my brother was quite worried. He was very young, first year into engineering college, didn't know whether he should leave the college, quit college, come back home, which was not an option he had. So he continued. But you won't believe that when the next year he went to college, he got the news that this boy died in in a train accident. So that is not what we expected. But what I'm saying, what we are just trying to, say here is that
Yeah.
the way Shri Mataji protects us.
Which year is this? And this is probably another remote part of Karnataka, is that right?
Yes, it is Tumkur. Now it's quite a part of Bangalore also, you can say.
Okay.
But at that time, it was a little far away.
Yeah.
So he
And
was
which year is
studying,
this?
I think around 1991.
Wow.
That was the first
Amazing.
year.
Amazing.
Yes. So he
That,
just couldn't believe his ears when he heard this. And from that year onwards, his studies went on very well. No, there's no problem.
wow.
Sushmaja, I
His next-
recollected one more experience actually after Sandhya told her story,
Yes,
Can I
please.
share can I share?
Yes, please.
That Tumkur, no? Yes, it is 70 kilometers from Bangalore. We want to spread Sahaja Yoga there. And Sunday was working day for me. Sunday we opened center there. And direct from by 2 o'clock, I finish my bank duty and go by scooter to Tumkur and with all Shimata's photos and Aarti plate and everything arranged there. By 5:30, there is meditation program starts actually. And around 30 to 40 new seekers were there. Every week, I used to explain about chakras. First week Muladhara, second week Swadhisthana, third week like that all day. When it came to sixth week, that is Agnya Chakra, I told them about Jesus Christ. One of these yogis that by name Krishna, he is Pakka RSS fellow. He wanted to kill me when the next week if I go to Tumkur because he is spreading Christianity here. I don't want Christianity to be spread in Tumkur. Let Chandrasekhar come to Tumkur. I will be, next week, I could not go. Shmataji blessings was there. It so happened, all his friends came to kill me. They went back actually. So it's happened. Next week, I went to explain about Sahasrara. At that time, I came to know that Krishna's son was very badly ill and he was about to die also. And then he recollected, I wanted to kill Chandrasekhar. Most probably, Shimataji is punishing me. So he went to Shimataji's photo and asked for forgiveness. Shimataji, hereafter, I am not going to talk to Chandrasekhar like rude thing. And he gave realization and vibrations to his kid. His kid got through, improved, and now that kid is engineer now and national swimming champion also. And that Krishna, who was the coordinator of the Tumkur Center now.
Amazing. This is so interesting because very recently that was somewhere in West India they were having
Uh,
what we called as the Christmas puja where you know and then there was this some yogis or the pujas was kind of it got into a bit of trouble or controversy probably from the fundamentalists or people who didn't appreciate the whole holistic integral um, divine aspect that we know and are so blessed with. So that is really a very, very nice story that you have shared. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just share a few because we are very lucky that we could see Shri Mataji and see her blessings. Of course, I couldn't meet her too much in person because by the time I'd come to Sahaja Yoga, it was very difficult to meet Shri Mataji. But I used to always feel I have to meet her. So I know I was in college at that point of time, and from there, from Bangalore along the coast, I could go to Ganpatipule. And after 1 year, uncle said, okay, you can also go to pujas. So the first puja I went, of course, was for the Shivratri puja, which is in Bombay. It was very difficult to. There was so much of a crowd. So I was always feeling I have to, how do I meet Shri Mataji? So next year, that is in '94, Shri Mataji came to Bangalore. And that time, after my college, I had again the same semester holidays in December. I had come home, and in January, Shri Mataji had come. The time it was in, I think, January 18th or something, town hall, there was a public program. So we were the Yuva Shaktis at that point of time, so we did a lot of postering and everything. So wonderful, time we had.
Yes.
So Shri Mataji was coming, so we went to the airport. But we were very strict instructions that, you cannot go near Shri Mataji and talk to her or, So I was standing on the last line. We had taken some flowers and gone. But there were 3-4 lines in front of me. It's very difficult to reach her. So I was just standing there and I was just watching Shri Mataji. I mean, with so much of a crowd, I don't think she missed even one flower. Okay, and I was standing, I think, almost on the 3rd or 4th line, hoping that I would finally be able to give it to her. And she stopped, she turned back, she reached her hand out, and then, she said, now give me the flower, give me the flower. So I, she is, her love and is tremendous, even in that. And after she took everything, and then they had said, and after that, don't follow her and all of that. And then she announced, no, now you all, I'm in the guest house here. And, please, all of you come now. All of you who are come to the airport, now you come and meet me in the guest house. So that was an open invitation. We all ran and, we went behind and, we went to her and we met her again in that Madhura Garments guest house in near MG Road. So that was one very beautiful incident I remember. Because I was feeling I should give her the flower, and then she took that. Then again the next after 1 or 2 days, next day there was a public program, and it was very funny. I mean, they were saying, we were Yuva Shakti. They said you have to stand here, because when Shri Mataji comes, Yogi Mahajan uncle had come. He was already taking the introduction session, and Shri Mataji came at about 7 o'clock, and we were all standing. Our line was that 3 cars will come. First car, you should, we'll push it forward. It will go to the end of that. There's a small lane there. That will go and stand there. And, so you all get all those people and come back. And second car will have Shri Mataji. And, a lot of all the, people who was to receive her were there. And the last car was at the back, 3 cars. And I don't know what happened. I mean, what was the sequence? I was standing in the first, my duty was in the first car. And the first car came, and then I'm saying, I opened the back door and saw Shri Mataji is coming out. So, these fellows were waiting in the second car, waiting for the welcome with the garland. And here Shri Mataji comes out and she gives her hand. She says, okay, where do I have to go? So then I don't know who was pulling whose hand, So I was there, she came out. And then everybody came running, and then garlanded Shri Mataji. So I was very lucky that I was there. And it's always, all these miracles happens when you have too much of desire in your heart that you would like to meet her. And the third one was, of course, in Ganpatipule, incident with Shri Mataji. My duty was, to take care of some of the musicians who had come. Every night there were a lot of musicians who were coming. So, as I was Yuva Shakti at there, my duty was to take all their instruments and this and all. There was a green room at the back of the stage. And next to that was Shri Mataji's room. And Shri Mataji came almost every day that year. This was in 94. And but she never came back. I was always standing at the back. I was hoping that one day she'll come, because and she comes and she used to sit 5-6 hours, never used to come back or go to the washroom at all. Very rarely is what I was thinking. So all of Yuva Shaktis, it was night 1 o'clock, and there was a very beautiful dancer from Calcutta. She and her guru had come, and then they were waiting because program was going on, and their turn, which was supposed to be at 9-10 o'clock, even at 1 o'clock they were waiting, and I was attending to them, getting them water. And suddenly we see, and all the Yuva Shaktis were also there. It was so late that they had all slept away. Just at the corridor, they were sleeping. And then suddenly Shri Mataji appeared, all of a sudden, and I didn't know what to do. And then she said, "No, immediately, don't wake any of them up. Let them sleep." So all the Yuva Shaktis were sleeping. I said, "No, don't wake them up. Let them sleep. It is too late." And then this dancer from Calcutta, she bowed to Shri Mataji, and this her guru, he just went, we call as Ashtanga Namaskara,
Prostrate, pranam,
prostrate at Shri Mataji, and I didn't know what to do. So when he did that, then I also said, "Okay, let me also." Then she told, देखो ये अच्छा है, ऐसा सीखना चाहिए इनसे, बड़े लोग सीखना चाहिए. Then I remember, I think she likes the prostration, and she was very happy. She blessed all of us, and then she went away. But then again she came back. She said, "Don't wake them up," and we didn't wake them up. We didn't wake all the Yuva Shaktis who were sleeping. And once she went inside, then we woke them up. She's just gone. She's got to come back. Now you all wake up now. So But her love for everybody is tremendous.
And all pervading, isn't it? And all permeating. Amazing that so this is going back 30-40 years ago, when everyone here on the panel, you were Yuva Shaktis. What would you say to the Yuva Shaktis today? Because things have changed. We are not dependent on telegrams and telephones. There's social media. Everyone is connected in all parts of the world. So we kind of everything is a lot more easier. So is there any things that you think you could recommend to the Yuvas of today and in time to come?
I mean, I was Yuva Shakti because as soon as I went to Ganpatipule, first time, that was in '93, I went. And there used to be this Yuva. At the time, the Yuva Shakti had just been formed, right? 1988 is when she announced about Yuva Shakti. So there used to always be a seminar. Okay, I remember attending that because that has transformed my life. So for me, my transformation is not in terms of, because I was quite young when I came, quite healthy. This, by her blessing, it continues. But as a personality, what you need to be, right? So when I went to that seminar, I remember, because I had two people whom I still look up to. One is Ashish Pradhan, he's in the US now. And there's another fellow called as I forget his name. He's in Bombay. He actually helped me come out from my shell, which I was as a boy, non-confident. Save, Nishant Save. Okay. So both of them, they would talk and they explained about what Shri Mataji wants a Yuva Shakti to be. And I remember, because that sheet of paper I still carry, is the Yuva Shakti guideline. And I still follow it even to this date, not trying to, do what she has explained that, we Yuva Shakti should do. There's just about 2-page guideline. I think you would know that. as to what a Yuva Shakti
Please,
should
can you share that document so I can put it up as a link with the video?
Yeah, I'll share it. I have it here with me. I can
Thank
just share it even now. Maybe I'll share it after I explain
Yeah,
this.
yeah. No, not now, but yes. You
I'll,
can show it.
yes, I'll show that. So in that guideline, I've tried to do almost everything based on that guideline. But when I heard it the first time, I almost collapsed because I said whatever she has said in that guideline, I am not doing even one of it. I don't have any qualities doing that. So one of the things is, Yuva Shakti should be able to explain Sahaj Yoga. And when I saw these two gentlemen talk, they were young guys. They were just about 3-4 years older than me. But I could see those standing up in the stage, taking a mic and talking, and I could never do it. In my college also, I was a very shy boy. And when I used to talk, I used to stutter because of my nervousness. So I said, how do I do public speaking? And Shri Mataji is saying, one of the guidelines is you have to have public speaking. And that piece of paper transformed me actually. So when I went back, the first thing when I went after college, I said, now whatever Shri Mataji has said, I should start doing. So she said, you have to have take a music instrument, learn an instrument. And once I went to my first job, I went to Aurangabad and I started learning tabla. Okay, I said, okay, one instrument, what do I do? So then I learned tabla. Okay, and then she said, you have to go through all the scriptures, in the sense, all the Adi Gurus, you should know their life. That was easy, but you should also know their philosophy. So I said, I don't know the name. I told you, I don't know what was Atma. So from there, so when I went to Bombay, I went to a place called Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. And there was a library there. And I used to feel very good, because I used to take out all the books of all the Puranas, especially the Devi Bhagavatam, because when she, in a speech, she used to say, you should read the Devi Bhagavatam. There you have Kundalini and explanation. You have, Lord Jesus is explained there. So I was searching for those. So all of these, give me a lot of confidence. Then Nishant, who was in Bombay, so as a Yuva Shakti, we used to have a group. And we used to say, okay, now Shri Mataji has set these guidelines. How do we implement this? So the task was given to us that, okay, this you will study about Shirdi Sainath, his principles, and come and explain to everybody, all the Yuva Shaktis next week. And that's how slowly, my public speaking became good, and and all of that happened. And then to understand what Shri Mataji's life is, her different meditation techniques, what has she told about meditation, and hence we had to go into all the lectures of Shri Mataji. So each of those guidelines, and then that we should know about all the whatever world affairs are happening. You should read newspapers, and then when I realized, and when I go through all of that, I realize that it is for the development of every chakra. And once that happens, at the end of it, you become an extremely confident person. The whole personality develops, and that development of the personality is a very, very important aspect for the growth of your journey into Sahaj Yoga. So every word which is there in that Yuva Shakti guideline, just 2 pages, is just amazing. It's amazing. So I'll just share that.
Yes, please.
Document. When you just see that document, it is, it's amazing what all she has covered inside there.
Yes, and it's a guideline for the young people in Sahaja Yoga for forever.
So I'll just share this. So now also when we do seminars, this is we do at least another 2 hours workshop only on this. You can see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's going up. Okay, so I would say from here, what she says.
Yes.
Yeah, so self-respect, self-esteem, if that has to be developed, you need to know the heritage and great culture of India, Indian classical music. You should have the ability to play. So when you play music, is the baitak which is there within us, which you say that you should be able to sit for a long time in one place. Your concentration goes up automatically.
Yeah.
You know, that is, you should know all the great historic personalities of India, the social, political, economics, ability to speak and understand Hindi and English. So both of these are very important. Ability to communicate through writing and public speaking. So this was a shock to me because if you see any of these, I did not know what to do. Any of this, I did not have at that point of time. Then the complexity of Shri Mataji, what is her form, her story, her origins, what are her struggles about Shri Mataji anyhow. And then the practical aspects, of the working of the subtle system, the meditation techniques, various cleansing techniques. So that's how I dived into Sahaja Yoga and started collecting these speeches of Shri Mataji, which is related to these topics. Because
Okay.
and hence from each of them, and that's how I came to know a lot more. Then of course the 10 incarnations and their philosophy. Now that's important. They will know the story; it's easier. But then understanding the philosophy, I think that's also very important. And then all about Kabir, Shivaji, and all the world incarnations. You should know geography. And all of that. What are the types of crops grown and all of that. Social, economic. You should be able to speak, understand, convey ideas, experience, ability to construction of a strong collective and all of that. About you should be able to know about Indian classical music, and the history and geography behind that. At least one musical instrument, so that was there, and my journey is still continuing. I'm still learning music, so it's another meditation for me, you know. And divine aesthetics about dance and everything, so about heritage. And you see now the practical part of it. You should know plumbing, gardening, housekeeping, driving. I started learning driving after I read this. I did not even know how to drive. But
I can see how Shrimataji prepares us for all kinds of things, wherever you live, whether in India or abroad. And it's such a wholesome outlook to life and such an ethical and
so
healthy.
all of yes, hello. Yes. Sorry, I think I got cut off. So these are the 2 pages. I think after that, of course, they have added little more. But when I was there, it was only these 2 pages
So,
till here.
so the
So I
two pages would have come as a
yes,
typed
and
pages
then
in the post, or some such yogi would have got it.
pardon.
So the two pages, because now we can share it on the screen, but in those days, in
Yeah.
1980,
It was. I still have the copy that I got in Ganpati Puri. They used to take copies, and they used to get Xeroxes. So we had
yes.
Xerox.
Can you please scan and email it to us if you don't mind?
I think I have that. I
Yeah.
have that. I'll
Thank
scan.
you. Now
Then
that's
converted it into this. But I
that's
think Sahaj Yoga, if the young people, go through all these lectures and these guidelines, it will transform their lives. Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very, very important resource and very handy tool. So, and all the talks that you have referenced that would develop, what Shrimataji has talked about, that would be nice as well to know, because then we can put it out there for people for yogis to see and to learn and to enjoy and imbibe. Um, so before we conclude this session today, is there any other outstanding experience that you would like to share, please?
Yeah, from my side, I think uh, I've shared almost what I've had with Mataji.
Okay.
Anything else?
So there is one, I think I should. It has nothing to do with Srimati being in Sakar form and now not in Sakar form, but is something which I think should help a lot of people. That's why I want to share it. See, and the reason behind me wanting to share it is because people still have mixed views about things like astrology and all kinds of such things, wearing stones on your fingers and all that. So that is the context, and this is what I want to say. See, you heard about Venkat Rao, my father. So something about him I want to say which is relevant to what I'm going to say further. He was a very good astrologer. My father, this predated Saj Yoga, He was a very good astrologer. He knew Sanskrit very well. So much so that he could debate in Sanskrit. See, that's is knowing Sanskrit is one thing, being able to debate in Sanskrit is something else. He knew a lot about Indian spiritual practices. All this Sandhya Vandana, we call it. You do your japa in the morning, evening, those kind of things. And all this knowledge made him a kind of a consultant for my whole family, extended family. He could read horoscopes very well. Anyone in my family wanted that two horoscopes have to be matched, to see whether a boy is suitable for a girl and so on and so forth. He has to come to my father. Now, to give you an example about why he was so good at it, my friend, both of us got admitted to engineering college together. Our families knew each other. We studied engineering. We were so close. So once our engineering was done, my friend's parents wanted to look for a suitable match for him. So they came to my father with all kinds of proposals. And please tell us whether this is suitable for our son. So the first proposal, he said, this is not okay. Second proposal, he pointed out something which was not all right. Third proposal, something else was not all right. So finally, they came, I don't know, it was the sixth or fifth, or they came with a proposal. My father looked at it and said, this will be very bad for the boy, specifically. But my friend's parents were fed up looking at so many prospects. So they decided to go ahead with it. Okay. So they got married, and maybe 4 or 5 months down the line, my friend had a massive brain hemorrhage and he passed away. I mean, he was just out of college, you can say, hardly a year or so. That was his age. He passed away, and his wife was in the family way. So that was the biggest tragedy which had happened. But this, I'm saying this to tell you how good an astrologer my father was. Fortunately, my father never told his own children about their future. And we were not interested in knowing about it either. We thought we were too much of intellectuals or whatever it is. Whatever be the reason, he never told us. Now, cut to 1990, when my father had moved from, he was a Sahaja Yogi, he had moved from Calcutta to Bangalore. I later came to know from my mother. Okay, another thing is relevant to tell you here. Before Sahaja Yoga, my father has had 2 heart attacks. Okay, before Sahaja Yoga. And he's been suffering from asthma since childhood. That's his background. So now cut to 1991. My father is practicing Sahaja Yoga since 1986, and he has moved to Calcutta. And I was, of course, in Delhi in those days. And once when I came home, my mother told me, whenever your father goes out of the house, he keeps a piece of paper with his name and address on it. Said, why? Because as per his horoscope, his own horoscope, his innings on earth was supposed to end sometime in the 1990s. He was fairly sure that he's going to get a third heart attack or something like that, and he's going to. So that was 1991, and he passed away. God may Shri Mataji bless his soul. He passed away in 2016. Now, 25 years of bonus as per his horoscope is something, if we cannot attribute it to Shri Mataji, who can you attribute it to?
Absolutely.
So, all those people who think that my horoscope cannot be changed for the better, please change your views. It can be. So, that's why I want to say this.
Thanks for sharing that. That's very important because increasingly, I mean, it's not just fashion now. there is this trend of big rings with big stones, but behind all that is this deep-rooted thing of which stone will, which obstacle will it deal with and things. And so, yes, Shri Mataji has blessed us with that, and we don't need to be reliant on these things because we're connected to the power herself. And it's very interesting you brought the Naxalite movement in today's session, because I remember one incident where our children were very young, and they asked my father. He started his career in Calcutta in Geological Survey of India, and in those days he was posted. They used to go on fields for months altogether. And one of our children, they just innocently asked my father, Nana, have you ever met God? I mean, and we're all Sahaja Yogis at this point. This is in the start of his career, so this would be somewhere in the late 60s, early 70s, something like that. Um, and uh, and he related this incident that they were coming, him and his driver, they were returning from field back home to Calcutta, and it was very late in the night and it was very foggy. And the driver and him, they had this feeling of, I mean, we can't imagine in the security of our home and our lives now, but that thing that, the Naxalites can attack any time and you're finished. You're gone from the face of earth. And so my father, he was telling the children, and my father just prayed to God. At that point, he wasn't a Sahaja Yogi, but his name was Rudra Pratap Singh. And he just prayed to God. He said, God, if our time is still here, just help us. And in that fog where the visibility was absolutely minimal, somebody appeared, very smoky, but in a human form, and they said, you take that left turn. And the driver took that left turn, and then they found their way. And then they thought, oh, we must thank this person who came to help us in the middle of the night. They couldn't. But yes, it really is just so amazing how when we remember, it reminded me of your story when you were coming in that cab and you knew that that guy was shady, and he was going to harm you, and you prayed to Shri Mataji, and there she just changed the whole situation and you were just saying, it's just amazing how Shri Mataji looks after us all, isn't it? So, and a very important point about astrology as well, that I think as Indians in particular, we somewhere in our subconscious, we do have that reliance. Okay, there's something in our nakshatra and all those horoscope and things, but really Shri Mataji's blessings have taken us way beyond it. So thank you for sharing a very personal story of your father, who was a very पहुंचे हुए astrologer, as we say in Hindi, but a very accomplished astrologer. And yet, uh, with Sri Mataji, it all kind of changed everything. And he himself got blessed with, quarter of so many years, which he would never have imagined. And everyone
Yes,
got to enjoy him, his company, his presence, and him enjoying his family and the extended family of Sahaja Yogis as well. So it's only Sri
true.
Mataji who makes it possible. And it's so beyond our little minds to comprehend her
Yeah,
powers and her immense love for all of us, isn't it?
true.
Um, any other kind of story before if there is anything that you'd like to share, please say.
I
Uncle
am through.
Sandhya Ji? I think there
No,
was some. Sorry?
No, I don't have very much.
These are some of the photos that Uncle had sent to us. Uncle, would you like to talk about it to us?
This is normally during Republic Day and Independence Day, we keep stall in Lal Bagh. It's a very big
Okay.
park is there. Around 7 to 10 days we'll have a stall there. So police officials also will be available there. They also took realization.
Is this recent?
It's not recent, I think 3 years back.
Okay. Thank you. This is Shri Mataji at National College grounds in
We had
1994.
actually in 1994 National College is there in Bangalore. We had public program there. She was
This is
coming out from car and entering to the
Beautiful.
arena. At that time, photo took. Her
96.
left side, no,
Yes.
very big light was there.
96.
I think Pradyoth was there that time. Pradyoth and Sandhya, they were
Yeah.
also available.
This is 96. Uncle.
Oh,
96.
it's 96. Okay, so public
96.
program 96. This is Mahakali Puja at
Mahakali Puja.
Rashtrathana
Yes.
Parishad Shamrajpet.
Mr. Venkat Rao advised me to light a lamp as soon as Shri Mataji sits under Simhasan. So I was lighting the lamp actually.
Okay.
This is him.
Okay. So that's you, Uncle. Okay. Very, very humble. It's amazing how, like, in all these sessions, we only kind of just about know the people more by the Kundalini and by the Sahaja association, but it's so lovely how you all just come and talk to us, and you're all so accomplished in life and yet so humble. So
There's no Shashidhar's wife, Gauri. She's from German. And she was garlanding Shri Mataji when she was entering to the music program we arranged in RV Girls High School. And here, my daughter gave performance in many places, dance performance.
Yeah.
Shri Mataji was seeing those photographs.
Very nice.
And she just said, other people also dancing, no vibrations. Only when my daughter was dancing, lots of vibrations was coming, she was telling.
So where is this? This photo?
It's in Bangalore only. Bangalore Guest House, MG Road.
This is at, I was telling, Madura Garments Guest House.
Madura
Yes,
Garments.
that's
You're
right.
You're
Yes,
right. You're
yes.
right. Yeah, right.
This is the photo that you're talking about.
This is the photo. She danced. She was I think by 7 years or 8 years old. Aigiri Nandini dance. She was performing in front of Shri Mataji.
Beautiful.
So completely filled with vibrations there.
Amazing.
This you have seen, no? And 18 in Puja, Ganesh Puja.
Yeah,
Even
this is what you've shown earlier, isn't it? Brilliant. That's great. And then there is this first Sahaj.
This is the building. It looks like Chidwada, but it's the first center of Bangalore.
Yeah. This is how houses in Shillong in the northeast
first center
are as
in
well.
Bangalore. First center in Bangalore. Even Ganesh Puja took there only in 89.
Wow. Fantastic. So that's really amazing that the times with Shri Mataji and long may they continue for all of us and for everyone around the planet, and may there be some peace as well. In all human beings, isn't it? Not just us blessed Sahaja Yogis. That's the prayer to Shri Mataji. Thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing your absolutely beautiful, phenomenal times and stories with Shri Mataji. That is incredible. Thank you for your time, and I'm sorry I haven't given any proper introductions. You're all very accomplished in your own fields. It's just the times with Shri Mataji. So thank you so much, Pradyoth Bhai, for taking up that phone call in your busy life and coordinating this whole thing, and Uncle Chandrashekhar, Sandhya Di, and Shashidhar Bhaiya. Thank you so much. And most of all, thank you, Shri Mataji, for making it all happen. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai
Jai Shri Mataji. Jai Shri Mataji.